these niggas and I know they hate it. Struggling that life, looking aggravated. Got straight to the money, no procrastinating. Buying anything I want, life's a vacation. You can tell by my walk, I'm activated. You can hear the way I talk, I'm activated all day.
What's going on, everybody? You are welcome to Across the Way, U.S. to the U.K. I am your host, the Commissioner, Trill. My co-host Ricco couldn't be with us today, but it's all love. You know, we send the love out to Ricco right now. He's chilling with his family. But I got some great co-hosts with me today, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. You know, I got my brother, man. I got Mr. Neutral. You know what I'm saying? I got him over there chilling from the iHub Boxing family, you know. And then I got Alexander the Great, you know, down there here at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have a good show. But before we get this show kicking off, let's get a word from our sponsors. Yeah, D-Rock Clothing in the house. That's what I'm talking about. I was just sitting here, just got a chance to finally go on Twitter and retweet and let everybody know that they needed to tap in right now to Across the Way, U.S. to the U.K. with your host, me, the Commissioner, Trill, keeping everything fair, you know. And my brother, Mr. Neutral, over there from the iBoxingHub family. And, of course, I got my bro, the one and only Alexander the Great, man. Thank you for popping up, man. It's been a minute since we had you on this platform, my brother.
Thank you for having me, Trill.
You already know this is your second home, my brother. We're gonna dive right in. What's up, Mr. Neutral? You had something to say, my brother?
No, I'm just saying, you know, part of the family now. Yeah, the iBoxingHub family is Alex. Big up, Alex. Definitely. Always a pleasure. I'll never forget a watch along. Legend.
We're gonna dive right in.
So hammered trying to keep up with drinking with a Scotsman.
we had a good week of boxing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we did.
Absolutely fantastic entertainment Saturday night. Boxing all week.
Shout out to of course the iBoxingHub family. Shout out to the JDM. Shout out to James. James is always showing love. Shout out to James. Where James Usyk just got detained. Yeah,
I've just seen that.
Hope he didn't have nothing on it. What they bothering Usyk for, you know?
And he was detained in Poland, which is a bit strange as well. I wonder if he didn't pay his tax on his last fight. But let's hope it's not too serious. And it's just, you know, a bit of red tape.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Hopefully. But let's just dive right into it. We're reviewing this last week's fight, the big fight. You know, it was Saul fight week. You know, Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga. You know, we're gonna review, you know, the Canelo fight week and get your opinion on the fights. I mean, let's start off with the matter of fact, the Stephen Fulton fight. The Stephen Fulton fight. It was some controversy in that fight. Some people thought he lost. Some people thought he edged it. Me personally, I thought he edged it. I thought coming out he needed the 12th round. I said whoever took the 12th round got this fight. And to me, the 10th round, whoever got the last round got the fight, and he got the last round. So I thought that he pulled it off. Close fight. Wasn't a robbery, but it was a close fight. Sure, I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
I think you're absolutely right. I could have said that better myself. In fact, I do remember saying on Twitter Space that was watching it in that first fight before my own main event is that Fulton needed that last round. He had the 10-8 round for the knockdown. He was chasing the championship rounds, and for me, he did just edge it by a round, but it was hard work. Inactivity come back to haunt him. Saturday night. I think he'll be a bit more active from now on, but still tough guy. He was up against Castro, and was it Castro? Was it Jaime's? Can't
Yeah,
remember who.
it was Castro.
It was Castro, yeah. So he was a tough cookie, and very good style, which is awkward for Stephen at times. But I just felt his class shone through. Second half of the fight. What do you think, Alex?
I agree. My first watch, I thought Fulton lost it, but I watched it again this morning, and I thought as well. So it was very, very close. On a rewatch, I agree with you guys. Fulton got that. He scared me a little bit when he got knocked down because I was like, damn it, I picked you to win this fight, and you're going to do it to me.
Yeah, I agree. I said the same thing about it. I thought when he got down, I was like, "Is this the residual effects of Inoue?" Was this was this the residual effects of Inoue putting them paws on him? But like Mr. Neutral says, a little bit of the ring rust was to be expected, and I thought that maybe that played a part in his performance as well. Moving right along, I know people are mentioning the Rolly fight, the Rolly Romero fight. I thought Rolly Romero did good. I thought Stephen Fulton would win, and I said that Rolly would win too. I thought this would be a showcase fight for these fighters, but it was actually tough fights for these both of these guys. Rolly passed with flying colors. Rolly was being Rolly. I want to see what he do next. Rolly is like Mayorga to me. It's this new age Mayorga to me. So I want to see he can make a less skills, and Mayorga can knock out a mule. you know. But yeah, Rolly is the type of person that he brings a lot of energy and stuff like that, and marketability because he's going to talk trash and he's going to sell the fight and stuff like that. If you put him in there with a big name, a key name, I think it'll be a good comeback fight. Will be him and Ryan Garcia. If Ryan Garcia ever decides to come back, I think that would be a good fight. I think that would get everybody going. Rolly's going to call him all types of cheats and stuff like that, or
Two
even
trash talkers, yeah.
Yeah. I think that can make some money. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about Rolly's performance, Mr. Neutral?
Again, rather much like the first, the first fight with Steven. It's a game of two halves. Slow start, but boy, did he come on strong. I thought he tried a wee bit too hard to try and knock out his opponent, which was reflected in some wildness going along in the mid rounds. But again, come on strong. Second half of the fight, and was really getting some telling work in on Jaime's. And again, it was one of them coming away comfortably, coming to the finisher line. So yeah, a good performance. I would love to see a Rolly Ryan Garcia fight. Should he come back to um, boxing after his suspension? Probably, I think Ryan would want a 143 catch weight fight, which would be nothing to Rolly. I would imagine he's got nothing to play for in this except, make a few dollars. And exactly. So he would accommodate for me. And like you say, two fantastic trash talkers of today in boxing would have a field day in the build up. And we'd all be entertained.
We definitely will be. Definitely moving right along. We had the exciting fight of the night. I wish Rico was here. Rico would have been doing a lot of celebrating of his man Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, uh, like Alex said with the Fulton fight, he scared me in the beginning. Montgomery looked a little strong and bigger than what Caleb Plant expected. But Caleb Plant showed that dog in him. He showed that dog in him, and he also showed boxing IQ. And he showed that the first game plan wasn't working. So let's go switch to plan B. Staying on the outside and trying to do that wasn't working with McCrummy. So he decided to go inside and make it a dog fight, hitting him with those uppercuts and things. And he did it. He did his thing, and he showed that he was levels above Montgomery. I thought that he would. I made a prediction that it would be a TKO stoppage, and it didn't have to be. Before the ref can get in there, he slumped him. So, so, so shout out to Caleb Plant. I thought it was a wonderful fight. What did you think about the fight, Mr. Neutral?
Very entertaining. Uh, Great start from Trevor McCombie. He was coming in for some weird angles, and he was connecting against Caleb. The only criticism I'll have against Caleb in that fight was it took him too long to implement Plan B. That should have been done after the third round for me. Uh, but as soon as he did, he switched. Those and he's certainly getting success to the body of McCombie come round 5, round 6, and the pressure was starting to tell. His face was marking up. Plant was getting more and more success, and but the difference being just before the stoppage was the power impact of Caleb's punches was starting to really break down Trevor McCombie. He gave a very good account of himself, the young man, Trevor the Trucker. Very impressed with his attitude. Uh, did a bit of showboating himself, in response to Caleb, So he was mixing it up in there. I liked it. It was a very entertaining fight. And it was good to see the class of Caleb Plant coming through in the before the stoppage, starting to show some really, really good work, which, you wished you would have seen in other fights, to be honest, because that was a very good Caleb Plant performance.
Alex.
I have to agree with Mr. Neutral and you, Trill. I was worried in the beginning when Caleb got knocked down and hurt multiple times. I was like, damn it, maybe his chin's not the same after Benavidez. But Caleb found the dog within. Even though he has the slick boxing style that he likes to do, he said, I still have this grit and bittle to bite down on and take it to you. And he did. And it was a really entertaining fight. I think his plan was to stay on the outside until Montgomery got tired and then start to push in, but he just got hurt too many times trying to wait for it, so he had to force it earlier than he wanted. This is the first time Caleb Plant went against an opponent that gassed out before he did, because normally Caleb's the front runner. He'll start really well the first 6 rounds, and then he'll start to
That's
gas
true.
out like against Canelo and against Benavidez. But it was a really good fight. I was very entertained, and we got the Gravedigger part 2, baby.
Yeah, I hear that. I was hearing the pleasantries from Mr. Neutral about Montgomery, and I also noticed that the guys after the fight they buried the hatchet and showed great sportsmanship, which I love. Um, where do you see Montgomery going next? Because he did show well for being the first time being on that stage. It still was a Canelo card. That was the first time being there, even though he wasn't fighting Canelo. You're still there at a Canelo event, the biggest stage of your life. You're going against Caleb Plant, and you did fairly well for yourself. You didn't go in there and embarrass yourself. You did pretty good for yourself. Where do you go from there? Where would you like to see Montgomery? Who would you like to see him in the ring with next, Alex?
Who would I want to see him in the ring with next at 168? Hmm. Anyone know if Boo Boo is sticking around at 168, or does he run back to 160?
Yeah, he probably throwing that 168 just to try to get some money.
I think he would think that as a winnable fight, and because he has that stock risen from what he did to Plant, if he could beat a guy like that, it would do well for him.
What you thinking, Mr. Neutral?
I seen I seen a tweet today that it could be Balanga next for Trevor McCombie. That would for me. See, for me, you've got Canelo versus the rest, but in the rest, you've got another section, another division of sort of quality fighters, and then you've got the likes of Trevor McCombie are on that peripheral of entering that next phase. I'm looking forward to Trevor McCombie's next fight. I'm not going to lie. Um, you know, aesthetically pleasing as a boxing fan to watch a guy like him. He brings a very weird style. And that was a great showcase for him on that Canelo card, as you quite rightly say there, Trill. Uh, for him to showcase himself. And I think he impressed the promoters enough that they were actually talking about him with the Balanga fight. So yeah, I'd like to see him in the mix still. Uh, Possibly a Munguia, and then Belly. Should Belly not get Canelo next? I don't know, but McCombie's, his stock is rising, and losing to Caleb Plant is certainly by no means detrimental.
Yeah, I like that. I like that fight with Montgomery and Berlanga. I think that's a good comeback fight for Berlanga as well, coming back from the Canelo fight, and a good fight, a good style matchup for the both of them. And if Berlanga can get past that, well, I'll I'll stick to the bouncing ball here. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that fight
Hmm.
at all. I think that's a good fight.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's good. Not throw him in there with another champion in there. Give him, let him earn his way back in there. Moving on, moving right along. It was underwhelming performance. A lot of people called this next fight. It was the fight between Danny Garcia and Laura. Um, it was a lot of criticism on this fight. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, I have my views and opinion on this fight that I shared. I'm gonna let Alex. What do you think? I seen that you was falling asleep just me mentioning this fight.
Man, that fight was so trash. It was so boring, but I it was hard seeing Danny Garcia go down like that. It was the first time he was dropped in his career, I think. And it's his dad even asked him. His dad, who has the most belief in him, was like, "Do you want me to throw this towel in? Do you want to stop? Do you want me to stop this?" It was hard watching a guy go out like that because his best weight class was probably 140. So it was hard watching him just get pieced apart by a fighter who I don't really like in Laura. He's boxing's oldest world champion right now, currently at 41 years old. I just really didn't like the fight, but that's just a hater in me, and I'll gladly admit that.
I've got to reserve some criticism here for PBC, um, and also the sanctioning bodies, on this occasion, the WBC, for um, allowing Danny Swift Garcia to enter the fight not only as a title fight, but with 26 months out of the ring. This fight didn't make sense in the first place. Um,
Hmm.
and Lara, for me, just toyed with his food for 10 rounds until
That was
the
a real
stoppage.
carry job.
It was. I mean, I hold my hands up to Lara being the ultimate professional, carrying on with his job, but you could clearly see from a professional boxer point of view that he did not want to implement too much damage on Danny, and hence the question from his father in the corner saying, "Have you had enough, son? Think about this now." And he's gone, "Yeah, I've had enough." And you know, I hope Danny has got enough outside activities in boxing to take him away from the ring and go on to do other things and become more successful in his own, whatever chosen field, uh, he opts for. But I don't want to see Danny Garcia in the ring again after that.
I totally agree. I don't want to see him in the ring after that as well. I
Big
mentioned
up
this.
Savage.
I mentioned this on the Boxing Bros. I talked about spiritual connections. You know, how a spiritual connection was sad. You know, how a spiritual connection with my brother Caden, and what we were saying is like when you have a spiritual connection with somebody, when they're not right, you're not right. It could be, your wife, your children, stuff like that. If they're not good, you're not good. You know, um, Danny Garcia, I see that HLD mentioned something outside. Um, he mentioned about outside of the ring. Yeah, Danny got a lot of stuff going on outside the ring. His father just had a stroke. His father just had a stroke in August. And I don't think that Danny, like I was talking to my brother Caden, and he said it too. He don't even think that Danny wanted to box. Like you said, Mr. Neutral, he set himself well. He set up himself really well for life after boxing. Not to mention his real estates, the barber shops, the restaurants. He set himself really up nice after boxing. I think this was like my brother said. This is a gift to his father. Like, we was up on top when people doubted us before. Let's do this one hurrah, one last time. If he can get the win, oh well. He did this for his father. Because then he once said that if his dad wasn't coaching him, he would never box. And I remember his dad getting emotional after the Sean Porter the Keith Thurman fight he was when he thought that he blamed himself. He thought he blamed himself for Danny getting a bad decision. He was like, it was because of me. You know? Um, Angel loves his son, and Danny loves his father. Every time Angel does an interview and he talks about Danny, he can't get through the interview. He starts crying, he starts tearing up. So I think the spiritual connection and the fact that Danny Garcia didn't want to be, his dad was asking him, "Are you all right? You all right?" Danny was saying, "Yeah, I'm all right," but he was looking at his dad like, "Are you all right? You all right?" And his dad made a comment at the end of the fight. He was like, "I don't. What do you think he's gonna do with next?" And he said, "I don't know if I'm gonna be alive tomorrow." That was real.
Mm-hmm.
That was real. That just shows you that they had a lot going on, more than what was going on inside the ring. They had other stuff that was going on inside the ring. And shout out to Laura, like you said, Mr. Neutral. It looked like to me he was carrying the fight. It looked like he didn't want to hurt Danny. That wasn't the Laura that I know, the killer that's been knocking out everybody. That wasn't Laura.
Yeah.
Laura was going through the motions, doing a sparring match. This was like one of those exhibition matches. Like we're trying the old time greats. That's what one of those was. Even that right hand that he threw, that wasn't no knockout punch.
Nope.
That wasn't no knockout punch.
And he walked on to a left hook, Danny,
Yeah.
the one that put him down. He just walked onto it, and it was. If you look back at it, I was looking for that Lara velocity within it, and it wasn't there. But it was enough
Nope.
to.
He
It
was
was enough
carrying the
to.
fight. He was
And I
carrying
just
the
thought,
fight out of
yeah,
respect. He was carrying the
absolutely,
fight for Danny out of respect, and it would remind me of Canelo with the Munguia fight. There was
yes,
times where he was holding him up during that fight.
yeah.
It was the respect. So shout out to
He's like,
Laura.
this is the next gen. I can't let Mongia go down like this.
Yeah, so he's like, so shout out to Laura. Definitely don't want to see Danny in there. I hope that Angel Garcia is well, and they get to enjoy the rest of their lives happy with love and everything else. But as far as boxing goes, Danny, I still think you make it to the Hall of Fame. There's guys who have never won a title in two different weight classes and went up to the likes of guys like Peterson, Martisa, Zab Judah, and knocked out Hall of Famers like Morales. So I think that you might get in there, my brother.
I
So
think his resume for me is second only to, I would say, Canelo right now.
yeah, I think Danny Garcia did a good
For
job.
who he's fought, for who he's
Yeah,
fought,
the names, the
the
names,
names.
resume. Yes, definitely,
Chizora's up there though with the names that he's fought. Didn't beat a lot of them, but he fought them.
definitely.
Come on, Alex.
Yeah, but he had to have some belts to go with it. He ain't get no belts to go with it. Then he got some metal to go along with his accomplishments
Yep,
inside
he's
the
got
ring.
some hardware.
Yeah, he definitely got some hardware. So, but yeah, definitely don't want to see him in the ring again. And I hope that he retires. Salute to Danny Swift.
Salute to Danny Swift Garcia.
Now we're on to the milk and potatoes, as they would say. You know, yes, it's Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga. You know, this was a big fight. This was a big fight. I'm interested to hear what you had to, how you felt about this fight, Mr. Neutral. How did you feel against Mr. Edgar Berlanga versus
El Presidente, the
Saul Cinnamon
face, the
Alvarez?
boxing. He brought thousands and thousands and thousands of people to descend on Las Vegas Saturday night. $22 million gate that's been reported. 775,000 PPV buys at $90. Probably only, well, it'll be 2024's record buy. PBC, people were saying, is dead and all the rest of it. I tried to tell them, Trill. I tried. Don't ever think BBC is dead. And he's just turned over more in one card than the whole of Turkey Al Sheikh's 2024 roster so far in PPV buys, especially in the US. But listen, if there's anyone who's ever doubted Canelo, you've just got to stop and stop this denial, that he is who he is. Another fantastic performance. And Balanga, I tip my hat to that boy. For 12 rounds, he stood his ground. For 12 rounds, he brought the fire. He brought the fight and the energy to Canelo. For 12 rounds, he took Canelo's best. And at the end of the day, when the fat lady sung and the bells were ringing, that both men hugged it up and showed respect to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that was just the icing on the cake of what to me was a wonderful fight. And Edgar Bombaye, as my good friend Ricco would say, didn't let the public down. He brought Fat Joe and his entourage to the ring
Mm-hmm.
walk, belting out the tunes. The place was on fire. Mate, it was a great entertainment and what an ending to a wonderful card and a great night of boxing. Little surprise it's done so well financially. The crowd were there in the thousands. It reminded me of when Ricky Hatton comes to town for the Floyd Mayweather, spectacle. This was much the same as a Mexican invasion for the stars, and certainly a few turned up from Puerto Rico as well. But all in all, fantastic night, fantastic card, great fight, and what a masterclass from El Presidente.
Yeah. I see Rico in the comment section with his negativity. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm ignoring him. But that's my bro. Shout out to Rico. Much love, bro. Yeah, how you feel about the fight? Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga, Alex.
I'm almost happy Canelo didn't knock him out and made it a 12-round fun slugfest because my expectation going in was that Canelo was going to job him in like 6, 7 rounds. I thought Berlanga wouldn't be able to stand up to the hooks or the body shots, but Berlanga showed a really good chin, and he's a much bigger man than Canelo, and Canelo still put him on his butt. So that should give you some expectation for if Benavidez ever gets the cojones to come back and fight Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? But Ricco, I see you in the chat. You told me before the fight, you said 5% of you is Mexican and like 7% of you is Puerto Rican. And you went with, or I might have that backwards. You went with the Puerto Rican side. Well, you made a mistake, brother. It wasn't Edgar Bumbaye that night.
Definitely,
Oh, it was a good
definitely.
fight.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Mr. Styles. This is what I have to say about the who does that? Yeah, this is what I gotta say about the fight. Let's start with Saul. Okay, let's start with Saul. Um, Saul Canelo Alvarez, man. Listen, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, there's people who gonna hate. You went in there against a young lion who is 193 pounds. People forget, man, that you're 5'7". You know what I'm saying? You don't
He's
have the
not
reach.
even 5'7". He's a liar.
Yeah, I know. That's because he had boots on that day. He had boots on that day. Um, he don't have the long reach. He doesn't. He goes in there. That's why you gotta give him the props. You gotta give him the respect because he goes in there with the physical disadvantages, and he still goes in there and he wins and he performs. You know, I look at his resume, and I don't care who he fights from here on out. I feel like Canelo has paid the cost to be the boss. The same time, like how when Floyd was in a position and they was like, "Oh, he's fighting Conor, well, he's fighting Berto, and then he's gonna, then he fought Conor." I was like, I don't care. He did everything that we have asked him to do. What are we gonna keep on doing? This is what we're gonna keep on doing because this is how we are as a people, right? This is what we do. We're crazy, right? We ask him. We'll say, "Hey, fight him." He'll fight him. Then we'll be like, "Fight him."
Mm.
He'll fight.
Mm.
Like, no matter who he
If you're
fights.
a real man, you'll fight him next too.
Exactly. No
If you
matter
stop
who,
knocking, you'll fight him.
no matter what you do, it'll never be good
You'll fight
enough.
him
He'll
when you're
never win.
50 and
You know
he's
what I'm saying?
25.
Exactly. So now I feel like Canelo is done fighting for the people. He is fighting for let's say life after boxing. People don't think about
Mm-hmm.
life after boxing. You know, Canelo got to set himself. He still got bills. He still got bills. These are still tough challenges, by the way. But he's fighting who he wants to fight. He set himself up for life after boxing. That's why he wants the most money for these fights.
Mm-hmm.
He's still gonna have bills. These houses that he got, he's still gonna have to pay taxes and the light bills on these even after he's out of the ring. And that's what he's thinking about.
Yep.
So right now he's trying to get these money fights and less damage as he possibly can, or if he think he can get more money for some legacy fights, that's what Canelo's gonna do. And I'm not mad at him. I heard he
Mm-hmm.
say something about he want to go against a legacy fight. He wanted to go against
Uh-oh. Look
Bivol,
who
the
popped
winner of
in.
Arthur Beterbiev and Bivol. And I think that's good for Canelo. He wants the winner of that fight because he's chasing greatness. He don't want to fight somebody that he's not going to get nothing out of. He wants to at least get the bag and at least be able to chase greatness. So he's looking at like if I can get the winner of that fight, that's what I want to do. Other than that, I'm gonna fight who I want to fight, unless y'all pay me what I think I'm worth or what I want. And he has paid the cost to be the boss. This is what happens when you at number one. There's only a handful of guys that do stuff like this, that bring them out like this. Y'all got one of them. Is my guy from across the pond. His name is AJ. He bring him out like this. You know, they got a kid in over there in the hood named Javante. He bring him out like that. There's a kid over there in Japan. He bring him out like that. So there's only 4 people like there that's like the face of boxing that could bring it out like that, and it's those 4 guys right there. You know, so I don't care what Canelo does next because I feel like he's on his way out. He's a Hall of Famer already, and he has paid the cost to be the boss. You know, but great fight from him. I thought he would get him out before the 8th round. He didn't. Berlanga showed that he was durable. He took a beating. People ask me who I think did a better job, him or Caleb Plant. I say Caleb Plant because Caleb Plant went in there looking to win the fight, and he won more rounds. Berlanga showed that he was tough and he had a good chin. And I would love
Have I missed the Edgar Beaumaye? Sorry, my bad. I had to come on.
We're gonna get to you, brother. We showed a lot of heart. And he showed a lot of class after the fight. I was telling Canelo immaturity too, leading up to the fight. That's another thing. I was impressed by the maturity of Edgar Berlanga. He said something about IQ, and we all laughed at it. We all scoffed at it, and I did too. I had a wonderful laugh about it. But he did show IQ in there. He did show IQ in there, and he did show class and maturity in there. So I wanted to big him up for that, and he got a chance to be in there with his idol. That was a dream of his. A lot of people don't get the chance to meet their idol, let alone be in the ring and share a ring with his idol. And he got that chance to do that, which I think was unbelievable. I want to see Edgar Berlanga again, and I would love to see him against a Montgomery. If he can get past that, which I think he can. I think he can get past that in a hometown fight in New York City. I think he can do good. And after that, do a big money fight. Because he's still, after this fight with Canelo, people are going to want to see him in there, and with a good one. And I got one for him. Munguia. Mexico versus Puerto Rico again. Both of these young lions up against one another. That right there. And while all that is going on, what's brewing? Berlanga and Caleb Plant. That is brewing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not put these?
Come on, Raheem. Come on, Raheem.
On the same card, and then
come on, Raheem.
You switching up on your Puerto Rican brother, Rico?
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. And you know what? You're the reason I came on this live, bro. Yeah, I was walking home. I said to myself, okay, no, I've listened to your goddamn sermon for the best part of 20 minutes or whatever, shitting on my guy, my Puerto Rican brother with IQ, by the way, that I said that he had, and what did you say, Trill? Oh, I had a good laugh about that. Life don't work like that, dog. Okay? Sometimes you gotta believe in the underdog. I'm most disappointed.
Racist. That's what you are, Rico. You don't believe in the underdog. You just believe in geographically racism.
What did you even say to me, bro? I don't even understand what the fuck you just said. You spoke Korean. You spoke some next shit that I didn't even understand there. I heard hater. I didn't believe, and a little bit more hater. This is what you need to stop doing.
Listen,
Mr. Positivity, Mr. Oh man, we all gotta know. But when it comes to Berlanga and the display that he put in that competition, Trill, it was French kiss. Ugh. No, it was something else way better than that. What it was,
the nut on the guy.
Alex, you need to just whoa. How do we?
I got that for you. That's yours. That's yours, Rico.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, YouTube doesn't allow that, bro. Okay, YouTube doesn't allow that. So shut up. At the end of the day,
monetization.
At the end of the day, I was right. That young man left it all in the ring. Canelo looked like a red burst blood vessel. He looked like he was about to go quinceañera. That's exactly what was going to happen to him.
We not about to let you disrespect Canelo just because you want to back your mans like that.
I know.
And you still switch it up on your man.
I got a long walk home. I got a long ass walk. Join me. Come on, guys. Join me.
Berlanga lost to Canelo. That had to be a long walk.
You walking by yourself, Rico. That's what you doing. You walking alone.
I walk this lonely road on the boulevard of broken dreams.
I know. you used to losing on these predictions, man. So you do rock a lonely road.
That's what
But
I do. There's no one there. There's no one behind me. No one in front of me. I think more for safety reasons.
no, no,
But
no. But all jokes aside, Rico, I want to get your opinion on the Canelo Belanga fight. All glazing aside, um,
all
how
right,
did you
all
feel
truth
about?
and spiritualism aside, if I had to give an honest analysis, I would say that the young man did very well. The reason why I say this is because I knew he would. He feels like one of those people that you fight to the level of your opponent type of thing. And if you really feel scared about something, your your fight or flight instinct will take place, maybe in the form of talent, like we saw on that fight. I think what that showed me was that he has something special, And I think if it's nurtured and now he takes the right necessary fights to build on top of this, I feel like this guy is the future star, bro. I feel like he's the future. I'm not gonna lie, because now that we have people like Raheem Plant, um, then Raheem isn't gonna be there forever. Big up to Raheem. Happy Pan Africanism to my guy.
His name is
Um,
Caleb. You will call him
you
Rico,
shut,
can
Caleb.
I ask?
Call
Alex.
him by
Yeah,
his name.
Alex. What the hell is wrong with
Rico,
you?
His name
can
is
I ask you a
Caleb Plant.
question? Rico, can I ask you a question?
Hello,
Is
Padre.
in your hello, son. Is in your eyes is Belanga Mayweather's Canelo, and he'll
Yes.
take over that mantle.
Yes, yes. See, this man understands me, while all of you lot pretend to be this ghetto Sesame Street where you'll come through and it's all happiness and all vibes. Hell no. Okay? I just want my Puerto Rican brother to know I fought for you this day, bro. I fought for you before when all of them were saying, the man is going to get what did you say, Alex the Great? The Great, Alex the Great. Sorry, it wasn't a glitch. It wasn't a glitch. It
Sorry, I
wasn't a great
wasn't yelling
prediction
at
there,
you.
pal.
Someone's honking their
Oh, he's
horn
cooked.
at me, so I told him to piss off.
Yeah, good. No, they heard the bullshit that you were talking, and life is
Alice
like,
famous.
no,
Shut
we
up,
can't stand for this.
Rico.
Alice is famous. Alice is famous. That's what that was. But yeah, definitely. We see that Rico still got his bias towards Mexican fighters. Um, Moving right along, our final predictions for the Daniel
Absolutely,
Dubois versus Anthony Joshua card coming up this Saturday. You know, it's going down. Wembley is gonna be a rocking. Man, I wish I was over there right now.
Oh,
You know,
so before we do our predictions, really, really quickly, Alexander Usyk has been arrested in Poland.
you know that. We
Now,
know that. We already
I
talked
hope
about
everything is good. I hope everything is safe. Oh, you didn't. Oh,
that.
sorry. I just
Yeah,
wanted.
we,
Oh
Rico,
man.
Rico, it's been
Oh,
alleged
okay. All right. Just to let you guys know,
it's alleged that he's been arrested
remanded for the
for
case of Daniel Dubois.
the gate, low blow gate.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
um starting right off with the Daniel Dubois Anthony Joshua card this weekend, this Saturday. Let's look at the card. Do we got the card up here? The full card. I know out of what's the main fight that you're looking forward to out of all the fights besides we'll do that last, the Anthony Joshua and Dubois.
I
But
was
other than those fights, what fights are you looking forward to?
Tyler Denny versus Hamza Shiraz. Tyler
Mm.
Denny versus Hamza Shiraz for me.
Yo,
I think that is my dark horse of the whole thing, man.
who you got?
I got my guy Tyler Denny, man. Like,
Yeah,
bro, the Cinderella man. I got
yeah. You
he's the
put me
he
on to the
bro.
other
This will
homie.
be his eighth undefeated scalp, Trill.
You put me on to the other homie though. You put me on to the other homie. So that's a surprise for me. But you becoming a sort of a flip flopper lately. Mr. Neutral, who do you have? What do you think is one of
Wow.
your favorite fights that you want to see?
Uh, there's a few great fights on that card trail. Obviously Willie Hutchins and Joshua Boazzi's another
That's the one
probably
I
good
like.
one to look for. But I'm actually intrigued by the battle of the wee fellas, at 100 and whatever. Josh Warrington, Anthony Kakachi at 130 pound.
Ricco
That's going to be a
don't say
for
nothing
me.
mean.
That's going to be a wee war in that ring between the Irishman and the Yorkshireman. And Warrington will be bringing an army of fans down to Wembley, so that he'll have a lot of support, probably more than Anthony
I feel
Kakachi,
bad for
maybe
them,
the.
man.
But
Be nice,
I
Ricco.
don't know. I think there's going to
I
be a
feel
bit of
bad.
a
How are you?
teething
How are you
crowd.
bringing thousands of your hometown fans to see you get chinned, bro? That is terrible. Sorry, Steve. Carry on.
I understand, but at
In
the
it,
end of
no
the
one's
day,
saying it, but we all know it's true. We all know it's true. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it. Okay.
but it's for me that fight's anybody's fight. And I've got a wee feeling that Josh Warrington me bench this on Saturday.
What was one of your fights other than the Anthony Joshua Dan Dubois? What fight are you looking forward to seeing?
Probably Willie and Joshua Buatsi, because I want
Yeah,
to see who's going to run the UK for a little while.
yeah. Yeah, I
We're
definitely want.
better than that, but that's just what I want to see.
Yeah, y'all got it for me right there. That's the fight I want to see right there too. Is Willie and Joshua get it on. That's what I want to see. That's the fight I want to see. I want to get in his head. Can he get in his
Buatsi
head?
by unanimous decision.
Yeah, that's what that's what I'm thinking. I picked him to win the fight, but I'm intrigued to see if Willie can do what he did to Riches. I think that's why Riches lost that fight. I thought Riches is a better fighter, but I thought that he let Willie get in his head, and I'm wondering if he can do the same to Buatsi. You see, Buatsi try to snatch him up. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't playing with that boy.
Mm-hmm.
Try to snatch him up, try to rip his Adam's apple out of his throat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely put the death claw on him. Yeah. So I definitely want to see if he can contain that, because Willie's gonna be in there talking trash. He's gonna be in there saying all types of stuff. So it can uh Joshua keep calm in there. Can he keep calm and keep cool in there and not lose his cool in there and let Willie do what he did to Richards, was outwork him, outbox him, frustrate him in certain rounds. So I'm looking forward to that fight as well.
What'd you guys
Move
think of Liam Smith pulling out?
Beefy, man. You know what, man? Beefy is a older guy, right? Like the type of right. This is how I look at it. Um,
This guy's a
Beefy,
hater, bro.
who would you say? You
Oh,
said
carry on. Sorry, I was listening. I didn't know I was off
yeah,
mute. Sorry.
I'm a fan of the Smith brothers. Everybody know that I'm a fan of the Smith brothers. Those are my guys. 40
50
Callum
cal.
Smith. That's my man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know 40 Cal, my man, and I like his big brother Beefy too. I love the Smith brothers. And I love how they for their family member, their other brother who got autism and stuff like that. They go out and they show out and they rock out for them. I appreciate the Smith brothers and everything they have brought to
Beefy
boxing.
showed out for his brother when he fought Canelo, because when he got knocked down from the body shot, the autism thing on his back was showing at the camera.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't show nothing but love. Yeah. Definitely LLG for life. So yeah, I got nothing but love for the Smith brothers. I feel like Beefy is dealt with he's been in a lot of wars.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a older fighter. Like really, he's been in wars. He just had injuries and stuff like that. Somebody told me it was a virus. I heard it was back injuries because he had a back problem before that. It's just
He
it's
rolls
sad.
his ankle all the time in
Yeah,
training.
he's a warrior. Nobody can ever, what I'm saying, take that from him. The heart of him.
Mm-hmm.
He got the heart of a lion. It's just the body is breaking down. And this
A
is
la
what
David
happens
Hay.
when you do this sport, and this is all you do. You know, um, and this is crazy. Yeah, the flu apparently. Yeah, they say he was sick. You know, Before that was injuries. Now he got age. He got that factor. I don't know if he still has to do boxing or he just does it because he loves it. But yeah, that's what happens. I have to tell myself to rest. I be in the gym. I go crazy. I go crazy. I had to learn how to rest. Because your body will make you rest. Things started breaking on me. You know what I'm saying? My patella, my shoulder, stuff like that. Because if you don't rest, your body will make you rest. But yeah, that's sad that he couldn't be there for the fight. Um, moving right along, the main question I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, is this the final predictions? All jokes aside, and I see Ricco got on that D-Rock clothing. I see you repping, you know, and I see Mr. Neutral got it on too. Y'all, what? It's gonna be trouble when I get my suit. It's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be trouble when I get my suit.
I need to get mine slip shipped to my new place.
Definitely, you already know. I'm gonna start with you, Ricco, because I know you're a huge fan of the D.
I love questions. I love answers.
You know what I'm saying? I know you're a huge fan of the D, and so I want to know, how do you feel with this fight?
Can you grow up? Can you grow up?
Joshua, what are you talking about?
Nothing. Nothing. I'm gonna go with, obviously, because Trill was talking so passionately about Willie a second ago. Um, I'm gonna go obviously with my guy Anthony Joshua. You
Oh,
know, he
whoa, I'm
yeah.
surprised. Okay, okay.
No,
All right.
you know, you obviously, I thought because you loved Willie. You know, you love to talk about Willie,
You
the
mentioned
breakdown, and
you
oh,
mentioned it.
sorry. Yeah, for me, it's gonna be done. It's gonna be Joshua. It's gonna be Joshua. Within 6 rounds, and yeah, yeah.
It's fun. It's crazy
Fucking, you
how
fucking
Willie.
go up.
It's just
You
no. I was just amused how Willie just rolled freely off your tongue like that. Alex, Alex,
Well,
who
I'm amused that the way it goes in and
do
out
you
of
have
yours. So one all.
AJ and Daniel Dubois fight?
Well,
Who do you
if you
got?
could see my name thing here at the bottom, or when it had, I have Chef AJ cooking us up a special dish for this fight. A la rest in peace,
Oh,
D.
really?
We got a dish coming up. It's gonna be special. I'm gonna name it. I need to see it on fight night. It's gonna be slow cooked, just like the jollof rice that was once Joe Joyce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess we was
I
gonna
got
name
Anthony
it.
Joshua by round 6, vicious flat knockout.
Okay, okay. People were saying that he was gonna be shepherd's pie. AJ was gonna turn him into shepherd's pie. That's what I heard. Mr. Neutral, who do you got? Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua.
Oh
Who you got,
man,
neutral?
I hate going along with the usual crowd, and so I'm the underdog king, and I'm once
You mean common
again.
sense? You mean with the usual common sense? That's what you mean.
But I hear what you're saying, Rico. I really, really do.
And
But
Ricco, you talking about common sense after you picked
You,
Malenko and
yo,
Canelo?
can I have a
Crazy.
one-on-one conversation?
Rico, you
This is
have a fighter
crazy.
with KSI's footwork. You can't talk nothing.
What? Vidal Riley? What are you trying to say about Vidal?
I'm talking about you, fam. I'm talking about you.
Alex, come on the show next week, and it's on, bro. You're lucky. Right now, I'm in residential areas,
Mr.
and
Neutral, who
I'm not going back. But you're lucky. Just know.
Mr. Neutral, who do you
I
got?
know.
You can go
I've
with the
got
popular pick.
I've, I've got Daniel Dubois. He's going to shock the world with a stoppage of Anthony Joshua in championship rounds. There,
I guess we
I've got
had to have a
faith.
dissenting opinion, right, Trill? Not
Oh,
There's
everyone could
got to
agree this
be.
time.
I have to
okay,
bring balance to the world, Alex.
okay,
There's
okay.
all this one-sidedness for
Okay.
Anthony Joshua and this knockout machine that he is. But I say to you, with the
Mr. Neutral
92%
don't believe it.
knockout rate, Daniel Dubois is going to add another knockout to his resume, and he's
I
going
can
to
tell
be.
by looking in your eyes, Mr. Neutral. It pains you to say that. It pains you to
No,
say
I
that.
say it with the
92%.
You don't believe a word he just said. You don't believe a goddamn word he just said.
Believe
Mr.
it.
Neutral, if you went with the Chris
92.8%.
Eubank 60%, I might have given you some grace, but 92%? Get out my face.
92% knockout rate that Daniel Dubois is bringing to the table as the IBF champion. He is the champion, and I don't think AJ is taking Daniel seriously enough. I've seen the press
And it would have the
conferences.
knockout ratio would have been higher if it weren't for Usyk. But don't worry, we're dealing with that right now. We're
It
dealing with
would
that.
have been higher. He's been
We're
arrested for
handling it. Don't worry.
gate, and European Court of Human Justice will sort this one out, Ricco, and maybe Daniel will get some recompense.
It was
But
me. I
for me,
snitched. I snitched. I was on that stand snitching on you, Usyk. I'm sorry.
Oh my
Not
goodness.
sorry.
but for
We're
me,
gonna
You
I
know
have you
what
think
stitches get, Rico?
outside of across the
Don't go
way,
to the
Rico,
Ukraine.
by your hurtful allegation, your hurtful speech, the things that you be saying be very hurtful.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, the stuff that you be saying, we're gonna talk off air.
I feel like I'm a man of positivity. I don't know.
I think Canelo, if they say Canelo, I mean not Canelo, Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois, my predictions in that fight. And I stand on this. I've been telling everybody who will listen. AJ does not celebrate after he knocks out Daniel Dubois. He doesn't celebrate because this is what he is supposed to do. The same way he didn't celebrate against Francis Ngannou. This AJ is about business. People criticize this young man for caring about boxing. For real. People said he had no heart. They said his some because he cared about boxing. Things that he was doing to get himself right, seeing the sports therapist, going into these caves, all these stuff like that. People clowned him for it. I
The
seen a man
dark
that really
room.
cared. The dark
Not
room.
me.
I seen a man that really cared. I seen a man that really cared. After how down he was, after his loss to Usyk. That's what made me even like him even more. He wasn't complacent. He wasn't complacent with having those silk sheets, waking up on silk sheets and having those millions in his bank account. This is what you want out of your fighter. This is
Rare
what you
breed.
want out of your champion that you fork all that money to. This is what you want, a guy that cares. And AJ cares, And now that you got somebody that cares, people want to clown him for it. No, I won't do it. I will not do it, and I will not tolerate no AJ slander.
Same.
I here with
Same.
you. Okay?
You goddamn right.
Showed that he's a guy that is willing to go out on his shell if have to, to go in there
Savage, I miss you, Savage.
to be great. Even Savage, he's agreeing. He's like, go ahead, talk that talk, pops. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
he heard my voice. He heard my voice. It wasn't you. Stop
He
it.
said,
Okay.
talk that talk, pops. I said, yeah, he knows how I get when I get passionate. He get passionate too. You know what I'm saying?
He knows when I'm passionate.
So I think that
Dogs
AJ,
reflect the energy of the owner, Trill.
exactly. You already know what it is. So I
He,
think
he doesn't own that dog. That's my dog.
and he's gonna spark out. He's gonna go and spark out Daniel Dubois, and then he's gonna go. This is a different AJ that we're seeing. This is a no nonsense AJ. And if y'all want to throw in the Gypsy Queen, Gypsy King in there again, the same thing's gonna happen. It's not no joke. I'm trying to tell you, this is a different.
and
This is a different.
like that one.
There's only one person that I think got his number.
Tipsy Queen, only
There's only one
7
person, and that's so.
Not
drinks.
even him.
And a Usyk.
You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna spark out. He's gonna go Daniel. He's gonna go Daniel, Usyk, Fury, and Usyk again. But what he's gonna do? He's gonna go to prison and fight Usyk.
I think he beats everybody but Usyk. I think he just got his number, kind of like Sugar Shane and Vernon Forrest. It's always that.
No,
They got your number. You know what I'm saying? That's Usyk.
no sugar out here, B.
Yeah,
No sugar out here, B.
Yeah, we're gonna move right on right here. If you this is right here, this is the moment right here. This is the segment called "Give Them Their Flowers." You know, when we end our show, this is called "Give Them Their Flowers." Today we're going to be talking about Salvador Sanchez. I wrote this about him today. Bear with me, gentlemen. We're going to talk about the great Salvador Sanchez. Give them their flowers, Salvador Sanchez. I know you heard of the great Julio Cesar Chavez. I know you heard of Canelo Alvarez, the
He's
Marquez.
Canelo's real father.
Let's start over from the top because you know
Sorry.
can't control yourself. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a moment of silence too for the great Salvador Sanchez as we give him his flowers. Give them their flowers, Salvador Sanchez. I know you heard of the great Julio Cesar Chavez. I know you heard of Canelo Alvarez, Marquez brothers, Morales and Barrera. But let me tell you about a fighter who many consider the greatest Mexican boxer of his time, Salvador Sanchez, born January 26, 1959 in Santiago, Mexico. Sanchez was the WBC and the ring featherweight champion from 1980 to 1982. Many of his contemporaries, as well as boxing writers, believe that had he been for not had he not lost his life, Sanchez could have gone on to become the greatest featherweight boxer of all time. He would square his boxing stance at close range. His body movement would go into overdrive, making him very difficult to hit. He would use his outstanding jab and lots of feints to trigger his opponents. He was always well conditioned. Sanchez ran 8 to 10 miles in the mountains 6 days a week. He liked to train at his ranch with outdoor training facilities, even during the summer and the 90 and 100-degree weather. Possibly the most important aspect of Sanchez's fighting game was his balance and his feet. This was initially the reason why he won all his fights because he was a great counterpuncher with good balance. A fighter is able to transfer his weight more effectively from the back foot to the front foot, and he was the best at it, which made him one of the best counterpunchers. 3 weeks after the victory over Nelson, as he was training for the rematch with Laporte set for September, Sanchez crashed on the early morning of August 12, 1982, while driving his sports car, along the federal highway. He died instantly. At that time of his death, there were talks about him fighting Mario Madonna, the Cuban, in a rematch with Gomez and challenging the world lightweight champion Alexis Arguello. Sanchez died on August 12th, like I said, 1982, in a car accident while driving. He was 23 years old. In 1991, Sanchez was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. The Ring magazine named both him and Sugar Ray Leonard as Fighter of the Year in 1981. In 2002, he was named the 24th greatest fighter of the past 80 years by Ring magazine. In 2003, the Ring rated Sanchez number 88 on his list of 100 greatest punchers of all time. Sanchez was voted as the number 3 featherweight of the 20th century by the Associated Press. Not only was he a fighter, a husband, a father of two, he was an actor. Sanchez appeared as himself in a movie about a junior lightweight champion in the 1983 film The Last Fighter, released after his death. The movie was dedicated to him. You know, he played himself in his movie, which is dope. Salvador Sanchez's record was 44 wins with 32 KOs, 1 loss in 1977, which he lost by decision and never lost again after that, and a draw, which he was knocked down multiple times but fought back and turned that knockdown into a draw. He fought the likes of Azuma Nelson, Wilfredo Gomez, both Hall of Famers, and get this, he also fought Felix Trinidad Sr. Yeah, that's right. The father of Puerto Rican legend, Felix Trinidad. He defeated him as well. Like I said before, he was considered one of the greatest, and I would like to give him his flowers, even though he's no longer with us, and say thank you for everything you have done for the sport. You continue to inspire. So, that's the great Salvador Sanchez, and we just wanted to give him his flowers over here at iBoxingHub. And we will continue to give fighters their flowers over here at iBoxingHub. Because that's what we do. We love the fighters. Before we get out of here and say our goodbyes, let's get a word from our sponsors. Yeah, shout out to Ricco, my bro, my co-host, for stepping in and showing some love. You know, he was out and about, but he still made it in to, give his sense of humor and his love. So shout out to Ricco for stepping in. And shout out to Mr. Neutral, my brother Alex, did great. Mr. Neutral, let them know where they can find you at. You're muted right now, brother.
Sorry, Trill. Didn't want to interrupt anything you were doing. Neutral's Corner on Twitter, Mr. Neutral. Neutrals.corner on Instagram. Yeah, that's where I'm at. iBoxingHub. Find me there on all our shows that we do. Check us out. Get us to 1,000 subscribers. We're nearly there. 915 and counting. We're going strong. So hopefully this time next week, we'll hit that magic mark. Like and subscribe, guys, and let these shows continue.
Alex, let them know where they can find you at, bro.
All right. Well, you can find me on Twitex, as a friend of mine calls it. You can find me at TBEMMMMA F1. That's my handle. You can find me also this Sunday on the 505 boxing space, building a new fighter on a new Twitter space. So you can find me there.
Big up the 505. Watch party this weekend and the draft pick on the Sunday.
And of course, you know me, I'm the commissioner, aka Trill Dollar Bill. You can find me on Triller as Ray Trilogy. Speaking of Ray Trilogy, I dropped a song today called On the Ground, so y'all can go check that out. The link will be somewhere in the description. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Across the Way, US to the UK. We'll see you next week. Appreciate you. Much love to the chat.
This feels good. We're gonna go to Boston to Cali on this one. Level up on these niggas and I know they hate it. Struggling that life looking aggravated. Got straight to the money, no procrastinating.